Hello dolls, how y'all? How's it going? I know it's been a hot minute since we last did a Sanesh Sundays, but I needed to cook paneer now. This is the first opportunity I've had for the week. It's Wednesday. This is the first opportunity for the week and weekend that I've had in a very long time to cook myself some nice food. So I thought we'd kill two birds with one stone. If you've been watching my recent vlogs, you probably realize this is a bad idea because my ADHD, guys, is on other levels, honestly. I'm so sorry. I should really learn to finish my thought before I carry on. But I wanted to talk to you guys about what I've learned in my 20s. In case you guys are wondering, I recently just switched to cooking with ghee. Apparently it's a lot healthier. Why your face must itch every time you need to cook? Ugh. If you guys have been watching my last few vlogs. Oh no, I already covered that. You're the ADHD. So yeah, you guys know I turned 30 6 months ago. It is the 1st of October today. I don't know when you guys are going to see this. Hopefully I have time to edit and upload for you guys. But yeah, let me tell you something. Turning 30 was very, very enlightening, if I do say so myself. Also, somehow this microphone is very sensitive on my camera versus on when I'm recording on my phone. It's chill vibes. So that's why I'm trying to not speak so loud. Usually with content creation, you have to project, and now I have to keep reminding myself I have a microphone right here. So I do apologize if the audio gets distorted. But yeah, it has been a delightful last 6 months. I still feel 29. I think like all of my friends used to say, oh my God, I'm almost 30. I'm like, how old are you? 29, but I'm 28, but I'm turning 29. I'm like, girl, you are 29 until you're 30. Don't keep saying you're almost 30, because trust me, before you know it, you are in your 30s. And I 29 so hard, I still don't feel 30. I think I've spoken to you guys about this on my Instagram. And yeah, so let's get into it, shall we? I'm waiting for my ghee to heat up because my paneer is homemade. I've got a little batch from my mom and a little batch from my friend. I'm going to try and make my own paneer. We're going to see how that goes. But yeah, like my 20s were very fulfilling for what it was as a self-employed business owner who didn't get a leg up, not on mommy or daddy's money, no fallback plan. I mean, listen, if I had to move back home, my parents wouldn't say no, but at the same time, God has been so good. Like, wow, God has been so good in this whole journey. And I am only here today because of the grace that God has extended me and obviously my parents when they brought me into this world, because wow, I was never ready. I don't even think they were ready for me. I appreciate not being spoiled rotten and having to work for what I wanted. And that was always a running thing in my family. If I asked for something, especially in high school, you can get it when you're working. Like when you're working, you can get that. And now I get it because it's a lot of hard work. My family don't come from a lot. And I think that's also why we value hard work a lot more. Because we know, like now in hindsight, we all know what it takes to get to where you are. And I'm incredibly blessed to get to live in this beautiful apartment, to have my beautiful dog, and to just be able to take care of myself on a month-to-month basis. It has been hard though. So you will never catch me complaining about how busy I currently am. Because I am currently very busy. I am so swamped. So it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. But God is good. And like I said, I wouldn't be here without the grace of God, which is why I'm also fasting for the whole month of Prachasi. My mother asked me, she's like, are you going to fast the whole month? I said, yes, Mom. What do you mean? I still need Lord Vishnu to have my back. You know what I'm saying? He must keep to his end of the bargain. But yeah. Okay, I think I've crowded the pot with paneer, so I'm going to leave this to fry in the next batch. I am going to I'm using my small pot because this is a very small batch of paneer, so I don't want to make a big pot dirty, because like I said, I want to try making paneer. I have to try it off camera, unfortunately, because I need to perfect it, and then we'll figure it out together. Let's start with friendships. There's a lot of people that have come into my life that I didn't necessarily or fully understand because of the headspace I was in when I met them. And I truly believe that there have been certain people that have come into my life for a reason and a purpose. And I will forever be grateful, even though I may not have gotten the chance to say it to them. I'm a very much like, I don't like confrontation. So the moment we get confrontational, I will just rather block you. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. There will come a point where maybe I will unblock you and, we'll be living happily ever after. And I will take responsibility for my role in the breakdown of the friendship, because I realized that in life, it's not just one person that is at fault. It's both parties that are at fault. And I think my 20s have taught me that I am never above being corrected. It's important because and this is the thing, right? I realized that there were certain things that were happening that my family wouldn't tell me about until after the fact, because they just wanted me to be happy, right? But in hindsight, I would have loved to hear their opinion. Now, would I have been receptive to it? I don't know. But I would have liked to have that extra, okay, this is what is happening, in addition to what I'm experiencing. Because when you are only experiencing a person, you almost need validation from other people. Like, are you making the right choice? Especially in your 20s, you never know. Like, everything is uncertain. You're figuring shit out. You don't know what you're doing in life. You're just figuring it out step by step. Let me tell you something. As old as I am, if you guys are younger, even at my big old age, we still don't know what we're doing. We're still figuring it out every single day. And you know what? I could be in a worse off position. And I don't want to give you guys an example, because I think all of our lives' journey has happened for a reason and a purpose. And I truly believe that, say for example, if somebody had a baby, if somebody got married and they got divorced, all of that is character development, right? I've had tons of breakup in my 20s. That was for sure character development. Oh my God, character development to the max. I digress. Coming back to friendship, there was things I didn't understand. There are specific people. There are people who I just don't agree with outright that I used to be friends with. And then there are people who I look back now and I'm like, I get it. I just needed character development. I just needed to grow. I needed to have my own child, and then understand the implications of children. And we'll get into that in a bit. But I've learned that friends need to hold each other accountable. Okay? You can't resent one another for each other's behavior. And one of my mistakes is that if somebody did something to me and apologized and then did it again, that's when I would start resenting them, because they'd apologize and I'd say, no, it's fine. Actually, it's really not fine also. It was never fine. I should have said, you know what, it's not fine. I'm going to need time to get over this, because I don't appreciate being spoken to like that, And so there's a lot of moving parts, I would say. Okay, it hasn't turned color yet. There's a lot of moving parts, I would say, to being a friend. And Now that I know better, I will do better. But I don't know how I would ever get past a conflicting friendship. Because I don't like conflict, and I close you off and I move on with my life because I can't. It's too much for me. Especially if you don't reason with how what you are doing is self-destructive. I've had self-destructive friendships before, and I still have love for those people. Like, I understand they're lover girls, but as much as you are a lover girl, you have to understand your bad traits and the phases that you are in. And I completely acknowledge that I've had a few bad traits myself, and I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm nowhere near perfection. But I try my best, and that is all that matters. But yeah, again, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person. Y'all know that song. And yeah, like, I think reflecting in your actions is very, very important. We live and we learn. And I used to think also that it was selfish to not want children. But let me tell you something. There is so much of power in being selfish. I never understood it in my 20s. But the older I got, the more I realized being selfish is everything. Especially because, wow, guys, when you put everyone else and you tie your value, when you put everyone first and you tie your value to helping people and to that being your purpose, people will take you for a one. Trust me. They'll take you for a one. Sometimes you have to sit and be selfish, and financially it will drain you. Sometimes you have to be selfish. You just have to. Because being selfish protects you from a lot of things. Trust me. And yeah, if I've ever called you selfish, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Now I understand. And I think that's the thing about life, right? You have to be able and willing to understand. Another thing I've also realized is that if you don't fully understand someone as a friend, short it. Hello, darling. And you come say hello. Come say hello to the people. She always likes to see what's happening. I love you. She likes to see what's cooking, what's cutting. Say hello. Say hi. Hi? No. She camera shy. It's my darling. It's my baby. It's my darling. It's my baby. It's my darling. Guys, her body is so long. Look at that. She is a long Yorkie. She's under 5 kgs though. What was I saying? This is a bad idea. What was I saying? When you don't understand something about your friend, shut your mouth. Respectfully. Because there are people, the very same people you're talking to, or the very same people that call you their friends, that the moment things go sour, they want to go tell your friend what you said. And I think that's my biggest regret, is voicing my misunderstandings of people. Because then people use it as ammunition to get people on their side, so to speak. But then you realize it's not worth it. Sometimes you just need to preserve your friendships for you, not for anyone else. So even if you don't understand something about a close friend, just shut your mouth and keep it moving. Just stay in your lane, mind your business. Trust me, it is going to save you in the long run from dealing with people with bad intentions. There are people out there that will make you believe that they will have your back through thick and thin. But when it comes down to it, these very same people will throw you under the bus. So you have to be very, very careful with that. Okay, next topic. Relationships. Now, I know we were indoctrinated to believe that relationships are so easy. They are not easy from any stretch of the imagination. If anything, a relationship brings out the worst and the best in you. It depends what kind of relationship you get into. My last situationship brought out the worst in me. I was screaming, I was shouting, and it's because when I spoke, there was no reaction. It was blank. I was speaking to a wall. So it was a lot, guys. Okay, doll, you relax, you relax. A good relationship, and this is for everyone else to decide, right? What I've also realized is that there's things that I can tolerate that my friend won't be able to tolerate, and there's things that my friend is tolerating that I will never be able to tolerate, right? We all were raised differently, and I think based on how we were raised, we tolerate different things. Our tolerance is very different. So just meet people where they're at. It's not our responsibility to tell people what their husbands are like and judge and whatever. Just let people be. Let people be. You might not be able to deal with it, but your friend can deal with it, and that's on her. That's her choice. When it's a boyfriend, though, and you can see it's a train wreck waiting to happen, then it's a different story. Not like fiancé and all, then that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? I think also we're in a space where people are not tolerating BS anymore. People are leaving their marriages. People are getting divorced. People have co-parenting relationships. And that's because getting married is hard. It's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. Hence why I'm saying, like, your partner will bring out the worst in you at times. But how you react is all on you at the end of the day. So it's your choice. It's your person. It's the person you decided that you want to be with and you want to start a family with, and whatever the case is. So just let people be. Another thing I've realized is that men these days want to be princessed and babied. And I will never understand this concept. As a woman who has a period, who menstruates, I will never understand this concept of men wanting to be princesses. Because what do you mean you want to be a princess? For who? For what purpose? Hold on, I just want to put the paneer. What was I saying? Oh God, you see? This is my problem. The ADHD. It's probably not even ADHD. It's probably just something mild. But I also think that I have 100 tabs open in my head at all times, and that is the problem. Anyway. But also, biggest lesson of my 20s. You are not a tree. Move. Don't wait for a man to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that this is who he is and this is how he's going to treat you. I used to wait for people. Oh, he's having a bad day. Oh, can't be that bad. It's bad, girl. It's bad. Don't wait for people to show you how bad it can get. I am lucky because I have a very low tolerance for bullshit. I'll give you 6 months. I gave someone a year and a half off and on until I said, this is not worth my time anymore. It was the most toxic relationship I've ever been in. You guys know, I think I was like 23 at the time, or 22. Worst. Narcissist. Worst. I don't even know the second one, what happened with that, but I just feel like he wasn't ready for a relationship. But he pursued me. That's men. They pursue you, then they turn around and say, no, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. It is kind of wild if you think about it. And then the other variation of men you get is Men who cheat on their wives. Now, this is such a pandemic that you should consider yourself lucky if you have never been in contact with or had a situationship with a man who you later found out to be married. Because let me tell you something, it is more common than you think. And never look down on anyone else. Because I can tell you now, God will humble you. God will humble you, doll. And sometimes when you are in certain situations, you see a lot. And when you look at what the other woman is putting up with, you think to yourself, I never want that to be me. How can you put up with that? But it's easier said than done, because guess what? Men manipulate. Men lie. Men will tell you everything you want to hear, but never actually follow up on it. And another one of my biggest lessons is never fall in love with potential. A man will say and do anything to get you, but do minimum to keep you, because he's already manipulated you to believe that he's the best you could ever get. Another big thing that I used to hate doing is if a woman messaged me, I would go straight to the guy and ask him, what is this about? Because I would feel embarrassed to open up that can of worms with a woman who I don't know. But my biggest lesson from that is ask questions. Ask questions. If a woman comes to you and says, this is what I found out, or I just want to find out if this is true, ask questions. Ask. Say, where did you hear that from? Or, I'm just curious to understand why you would have that perception of this person. And you will get all the answers. If I was a confrontational person, I would have discovered all these men's cuck before it got to a point where they actually hurt me. So please, ladies, if somebody is messaging you regarding a man, trust and believe. Okay, firstly, you got to gauge now, is it coming from a bad place or what? Because, women also, we have our hang-ups, especially when it comes to men. Like, I'm sorry, doll, nothing you do in this world will keep a man unless he wants to be kept. That's the reality of the situation. So, those are the biggest lessons when it comes to men. If a woman has something to say to you, believe her. Sometimes she might be stirring cuck. But other times you just never know what you may have discovered. And so now when women come to me and ask me, because trust and believe these men use my name. Oh yeah, I dated that one. It's not a flex, doll. You couldn't keep me. It's not a flex. So, mommy, I'm cutting onions, darling. I'm cutting onions, my doll. So yeah, guys, that is my major tip for you guys. And also, if you can see the red flags, don't wait. Don't wait. You see stupid people like me. I was waiting to see, let's see what's happening here. Don't wait. Don't wait. It is a waste of your precious time and your precious energy. Don't wait. Let's see if the skin comes out of this tomato. Oh yeah. It is ready. But yeah, that is relationships. Almost dropped the tomato. And then comes children. Guys, after having Aru, I think I briefly touched on this maybe in the last episode. I can't even remember at this point. After having Aru, I have a newfound respect for mothers. I always knew motherhood was hard, but I have a brand newfound respect for single mothers, especially because this shit is hard. Okay, I got Aru after I turned 29. Being a fur mummy is my calling. I'm so fulfilled, guys. I love this girl to bits. She stresses me out. She drives me mad. Bless you, darling. It's tomato. You want tomato? And more especially, sometimes she has restless nights like last night where I take her to bed and then she doesn't want to sleep in bed. So you think maybe she wants to go outside. No, she doesn't want to go outside. She wants to lay where she wants to lay. And honestly, I'd rather have her next to me. Because, do you want a tomato? Here. Because I know that when she's in the bed with me and she needs to go outside, I can hear her. So if she's not in the room with me, I don't want her to make a mess in the house, or feel like, she needs to go outside. Firstly, she'll really make a mess in the house unless she's hard up to go outside. Now you're wasting my tomato. Aru, you wasted my tomato. I don't like that. Anyway. I would rather have her next to me in bed, so I know that when she wants to go outside, I can take her outside. Because I'm a light sleeper when she's actually next to me. And also, I'm sure you guys remember Sanesh being like old Sanesh, 20 Sanesh, saying, I am going to have a child. No matter what, I'm going to have a child. I don't care if I have to get a sperm donor. I don't care. I will have a child on my own, even if I don't get married. I'm happy to say to you that has all changed now. I have come to terms with the fact that I might never. Hold on, let me take this out. It's ghee, mommy. You want ghee? It's tasteless. As I was saying, I have come to the realization that marriage has been constructed to benefit men. There are studies that say married men live longer and single women live longer. And single women are the happiest. Now, obviously, this suits my narrative because, hello, I'm single. But I think a lot of relationships are changing. And I think a lot of men are coming to the table. You cannot expect me as a woman who makes my own money to still come home, cook, clean, be a maid to you. It's not fair. It's not fair. You both have to play a role. Relationships nowadays are very different. As much as I would love to be home and be a housewife, I love being at home with my child. That's the tea. As much as my lips are so dry. I have to go moisturize them. As much as I love that, I also need to work. I need to sustain myself. I think relationship roles need to be dictated by you and your partner and what works for your lifestyle. I'm a homemaker. I like to cook. I like to, get my home together, that kind of thing. I take pride in my home. Other women don't have the same capacity. They like to have a balance of being a corporate baddie and being at home and doing the things. You know what I'm saying? Again, that your relationship roles gets dictated by you and your partner, not anyone else. Now, based on my experience, I will never date a man who only has a birth certificate and a matric. Because, like I said, men these days want princess treatment. What you talking about princess treatment? You, as a man who doesn't even have a menstruation cycle, who doesn't even bleed once a month. I saw the other day there was a TikTok saying women dilate 1 to 2 centimeters to pass through clots. I'm going to try and find a video. I'm going to link it down below so you guys can go watch it on TikTok because that's crazy business. Men don't have to deal with that. And yet they want princess treatment. I am sorry. Women also deal with mental health issues. But we out here living our lives, bossing it up, because we don't have any other choice. Again, women get to dictate what their roles are and what roles they play. And I love that for y'all. I'm running out of dhania powder and jeera powder, and I need to restock. Anyway, I have realized that I will not be bringing children into this world, especially if they have a deadbeat daddy. Deadbeat men don't deserve children, guys. We must stop doing that now. We must stop giving deadbeat men children. Again, like I said, I don't judge people who have had their children. I was saying, I don't judge anyone for the journeys they've been on because life is hard, guys. Life is hard. It's been hard. It's gonna stay being hard. So now that we know better, we must do better. Because I can tell you something, a man is not going to change how he feels about you just because you gave him a child. Some of them might. Majority of them don't give any flying ifs about anything. Okay, my paneer is done and now I'm going to go make some roti, which is kind of therapeutic for me. So I'm going to close off this video. You guys are probably like, she took forever to make paneer. I was talking to y'all, that's why it took long. Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. In closing, in terms of the topics of this video, being a single mom is hard. In my 20s, I would have chosen it to do it alone by myself had the finances been good. Children deserve happiness, whatever that might look like. Either a co-parenting relationship, whatever. Children deserve the best. And I think my child deserves to have a father figure in their life. So who knows, I might change my mind in 10 years and be like, screw it. I didn't meet a man. And maybe the baby fever will bite me again. Who knows? As of right now, I still love babies. I just have a fur baby who I love very much, who I'm really considering maybe getting her a sibling in the future. Not right now, maybe give me like 2 to 3 years. Let me have a good let us start sleeping through the night, because Aru currently wakes up once a night to go outside in the middle of the night. It can be 12, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sometimes a few times a night. She's a small dog. She has a small bladder. It's expected. Sometimes she sleeps through the night though, and that is wonderful. But I don't think I can do that with a human child. Being the sole parent, waking up in the middle of the night, it's too much. Anyway, like I said, everyone's life is different. So if you're feeling offended by anything I'm saying, just take it with a pinch of salt, because your life is your life for a reason. It's not my life. My life is completely different. But I hope you guys will support this single fur mom. And yeah, I'm so grateful to have a community of you guys here. And without you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing. I wouldn't be working as hard as I get to work. I mean, isn't it a privilege to get to work hard, considering the unemployment rate is so high? It's really a privilege. So thank you guys very, very, very much. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here through the growing pains, because I have been a very opinionated person. And I'm an Aries, so I'm very passionate about things. I'm very passionate about what I would like for my life, and people might be offended by that. But I've also realized that when you are authentically living your life, you can't make everyone happy. You can't. It's impossible. So you just have to focus on making the one person who counts the most happy, and that is yourself, darling. Nobody will ever be in your shoes. No one will ever experience what you've experienced in your life. Extend yourself some grace. Show yourself tons of love. And lastly, I've made peace with being single. I really have. Yes, you are all that I need. So it is what it is. I've made peace with one day getting married and maybe having children. But right now, I'm so content with where I am, because this is just God's path for me. I'm not going to fight it, and I'm definitely not going to cut my nose to spite my face and get into a relationship where I'm not valued. Anyway, where I'm not valued, bye, I'm going. Anyway, that is it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to slay all day, every day, with and without makeup. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And never let a drunk man sing you Padigiren on your birthday. Love you all.